Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
So let's talk to the adults just getting serious about putting their retirement strategies together. And they're thinking about, am I having too much risk? Am I not taking enough? What's the most common conversation you have about risk in a portfolio?
Well, I think one of the things we have to talk about is one of the bases for what Betray Wealth stands for is when you come in, folks, and the number of people that the older we get have risk up here, does it make sense that as we get older, that risk needs to come down here a little bit? Having a rebalancing. We always think we're 30 years old still, even when we're sitting there at the cane. Our job is to make sure our risk is in hand with how we are in our life, where we are in our life, and where we are with working. Because, you know, I use Alex and Jared all the time. Alex is 31, Jared's 27, my two sons. They can afford to have as much risk as possible because they have this thing called time. Time can make up for bad things when the market happens because you have time. Mm-hmm. You're still working, so time is a friend. Think about this, Mark. You're in a 401k, and the market is going up. Great, you're buying in. You're putting your money in the 401k. When the market goes down, you're upset about that, but you're also okay because you're kind of getting a cost averaging. You're buying in and having the price drop. When we're not working anymore, we cannot afford that. Because when the market goes up, great. When it goes down, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm losing money. I can't pull from that, or I shouldn't pull from that dropping investment because I have too much risk and I'm double dipping my loss. My job is to sit there and bring that risk level back down to where it should be and give you more safety as a security blanket going forward. We use really a tremendous amount of fixed index annuities, life insurance for that safety part. Does that mean everything goes safe, Mark? No. You still need risk in retirement, folks. If someone tells you you can afford to put everything underneath the mattress, so to speak, they're lying to you. But just the same way, not everything stays in the market. Not everything stays with volatility. You don't have the luxury of being able to recuperate that money. You don't have the luxury of time.
Yeah.
When you call us at 302-330-2166, we'll go over that with you, see where you are. And I'm always amazed. The number of people come in and think they're safe. They think they brought down their risk. And when we look at it, you're still up at a 9 out of 10 for risk when they thought they were more like a 5. Mm-hmm. I know life gets in the way, and that's a good thing. We're living. We're doing all the things you want to do. If we're working, great. But we're spending time with our family. Maybe playing golf. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. Maybe you're playing golf. Maybe you're vacationing. Maybe you're spending time with your grandbabies. But the one thing you don't want to worry about is how my retirement is going to work. That's our job. That's what we sit here every day and make sure that you're on the right course, communicating with you where you're at and making sure you understand what to do and how to do it and giving you the recommendations that we see which could make a better future for you. It always comes down to your final call, but we're here to handle all the heavy lifting so you get to do all those fun things with your family and golf.
That's right. 302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. We have a representative standing by right now and throughout the weekend to talk to you. Is there a certain age, George, where you tell people, all right, look, you've done very well in your portfolio. You've had about the right amount of risk, but now it's time to dial it down. I mean, is that a 55, 60, 65, once you finally retire, do you pull back on risk? You touched on it there a little bit, but like as we're thinking about our own portfolio, at what age should we be less risky?
It depends for everyone differently, Mark. How we're going through that life, how you sleep at night. What's the assertive sleeper number? Mm-hmm. And the assertive sleeper number for me is, can I go to sleep tonight and put my head down and know I'm okay? Not worrying about what's going on in the war in Iran. Not worrying about Ukraine and Russia, not worrying about inflation, not worrying about gas, but having the right amount of risk to go with that depends on you. Because we're going to talk about that. One thing I'm really proud about is I am not a big box firm. I am not JP Morgan. I'm not Edward Jones. I'm not these big box firms, TD Ameritrade. When you come in, we build the plan around what your comfort zone is. And Mark, I have two 60-year-olds coming in. Maybe it's different for each one of them. But it's about having what's the right mix for you. Mm-hmm. And then we put you down and we keep working with that box that we built for you. Those big box firms, you're 60, you're the same fit as the guy that came in 5 minutes ago that's 60 years old.
Right.
Because you're all the same, and you're not. how you sleep, your wants, your needs, your desires are different, how much you've saved, what expenses you have. All those things go into this project we do, and then we build it for your wants and needs. I have clients come in, they're 65, and they want to be really aggressive still. And we explain to them the ups and downs. I like it. I like going to Atlantic City, George. I like putting all my money on black and risking it. Great. We'll help you do that. We have other people who say, I want to put everything underneath the mattress and not touch it. And it can get mothballs on it, the dust. I'm feeling really good. And that's great. And we'll work with those plans that you want and show you the opportunities available. Call us at 302-330-2166 or go to Patria Wealth, Patria Wealth.com, so we can help you get through those steps.
God, there's risks in both of those situations. You go to Atlantic City, you
There
put it
is.
all on black. Hey, you could walk away, double your money. You could walk away losing it all. But then there's also the risk of, I'm going to keep it safe and I'm going to put it under my mattress. Well, then what's it doing for you? It's not doing anything. You risk the
It's
opportunity.
dying. It's lazy
Yeah.
money. It's dying.
Yes.
It's dying on the vine. And everyone has a different number about safe money. What kind of money you need accessible, sure sleeper number. Maybe under the mattress in that savings account, the bank that's yielding nothing, maybe that number's $20,000. Maybe enough to fix a water heater if it breaks in your house. Maybe it's $100,000. That's okay. I understand that. But when I meet clients that have $200,000-$300,000 sitting in a savings account, or they keep going those CDs, that's a year CD making 3.5%, thinking they're doing so well, you're losing. Because what's losing here? What am I'm losing purchasing power. I'm not saying with inflation. I'm losing protection against the market fluctuations. I still need to have some risk, folks. You still need some risk. Proportionate, right? If you want to have some money in risk and be conservative with it, have that 6 to 8% conservative, great. I still need some safe money because we know that 8 out of 10 years, the market will be down. We haven't seen that in a while. So we think it's always going to be roses.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's not roses, folks. There's a lot of factors outside of that. We know there has to be a correction in this market. 16 years bull market. 16 years have been going up. The average bull market, Mark, is 7 to 8 years, 7 to 9 years. We've doubled the average. Folks, the question is not when the market comes down. The question is, are you going to be prepared for it? I don't know when the market's going to turn around. I'm not going to lie to you. But guess what? Neither does anyone else.
Yeah.
You need to put a segment of this money into safe money and have someone that's going to look for your interests. Because if we do history, and I love history, 2001, we were doing really well. We had the dot-com bubble burst at 9/11. And if you were all invested in the markets and that market came down, you talk to your investor, your wealth manager. What do he tell you? Nothing outperforms S&P 500 over time. It's all good. Everyone's in the same position you're in. Don't worry about it. It will come back bigger, better, stronger than before. Great. It did. 2002, it stopped. It took 5 years to 2007 before you're almost even. I said almost. Why did you think you didn't make it all the way up, Mark? Because that person telling you to keep it in the market, invest, gets paid a commission every single day. When you make money, they make money. When you lose money, they still make money. Then we have the correction in 2008, housing market, car industry. We took a huge beating, 52%. And you called the people and they said, keep it in there. Nothing up from stock market over time. It's not a real loss. Blah. They got paid every time. And they're going to tell you the same thing today, that we're going to the moon. It's never going to go down because they're getting paid every time.
Right.
The question I always have is when you talk to those advisors and you say, I need to put some of this money safe. I'm worried about this. I need to put some of this money where I have protection, where it's insured, safe, and when the markets go down, I never lose any money. When it goes up, I share in the upside. If they give you a hard time about that, my question is this, Mark. Do they care more about you or more about their money than your money?
Well, it sounds like there's a fine line between providing guidance and lining pockets.
Absolutely. Because their job should be, as the job is the people, everyone that works at Patria Wealth, is about you. You are more important to me than anything else. Your children are more important to me than anyone else. And that's the way we look at this. And there's people that say, no, you can't do this. They're worried about their pockets rather than your pockets and your children. Call us at 302-330-2166, and we'll go over this together. We'll lay it out in black and white. We'll put a plan together to fit what your wants and needs are and to make sure you're lined up correctly and are able to sleep. The ultimate decision, folks, is yours. Because at the end of the day, this is your money, your choices, and your decisions. Our job is to help you get from point A to point B to be able to work the way we want to work. Call us at 302-330-2166. That's 302-330-2166. Let's schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. Let's start that process together to make sure you understand where you're at, where you're going to go, the ups and downs, and how we can be in the best place.
Before we move on, you just mentioned about how long we've been in a bull market. Are you, again, you don't have the crystal ball, but are you preparing for an upcoming correction? Is it always a talking point? You're always kind of thinking, hey, what if, just in case, it's going to happen eventually? Is it always part of the process, George?
I think the nature of who I am, it always is there. I always think about, as we get older, what are the consequences of not being prepared? Do you remember back in 2000 when we were so worried about the computers crashing?
Y2K. Yeah.
Y2K, and that we weren't going to have power or supplies. So you really had to, the government told you this, and they were paranoid, but make sure you have, a week worth of food, have blankets, have duct tape, have all this stuff. Remember that, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
They were selling the precaution. It's like having car insurance. I hate paying my car insurance bill.
Right.
It drives me nuts. I haven't had an accident in like 6 years, 7 years. But why do I have the car insurance? So God forbid something happens, I'm protected and the other people are protected. So as we get older, I look at that. I look at this as being the protection against what if. Let's have some of our money put aside, that when we go up in the market, we get to share in that upside.
Yep.
But when it goes down, I'm still where I was. You bought a new car, Mark. You didn't have insurance. You have insurance on. What do you have insurance for? So God forbid I get in a car accident, I get back to where I was.
Right.
That's what we're doing here. We're going to put a portion of that retirement money that we have put aside to protect the what if moments. We're still going to make 3 to 6%. Still. With no risk, no downside. So we talked earlier about the market getting corrected, having a correction. We still have relatively high interest rates. We still have inflation under control, but that may be turning around a little bit right now. We have a geopolitical society in the country, in the world right now, which I don't remember in my lifetime more countries hating each other than we do right now.
Yeah.
And we still have President Trump, who I love President Trump. He's our president. I respect the office. I voted for the man. But he's doing some really drastic things with our economy. If they work out, we're going to be in a great place. If they don't, it could be interesting. But I think it's safe to say the next 2 years are going to be interesting. Don't you want to sit there and have something here that if it goes well, we're going to go up? If it goes ape crazy down, we're protected with a portion of this. That's what this is about. Think about this for a second, Mark. You have things in the stock market, in the S&P 500. Volatile, goes up and down. It looks like the waves at the beach. Yep. You have that safe money that you have at the Certa Sleeper number at the bank. It's real secure, right? The CD you own, whatever the heck it's yielding. And then you have a fixed index annuity that when the market goes up, you get to share it. When the market goes down, you have zero. You don't lose any money. So you never have less today than you had yesterday. If the markets stay the way they are, all three of my investments are doing great. I'm up. I'm going to be really happy. I'm going to be doing the happy dance. But when the market corrects itself, Mark, and the market comes down, and we have a correction, 5, 10, 20, 30%, and 2 of my 3 investments are safe, insured, and secured, is a little easier to go to sleep tonight. Probably. That's how we're going to use the indexed annuities to help you feed those problems. When you give us a call, 302-330-2166, we're going to go through this, see how you want to go, how you want to project yourself, how you want to prepare yourself. If you're worried about lifetime income, folks, because most of us obviously don't have pensions, right? Unless you work for the federal government or a trade union, don't have a pension as a rule. I need to replace my pay stub. I have a client, Mark, and John's a great guy. He had his investment, and have you ever heard the 4% rule?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he had this investment, so he says, I'm going to take my 4% rule, George. I should be good. So he has $500,000 in there. He's thinking he's going to be pulling X out every month, and he should be fine.
The 4% rule, if the market performs how it always has, you can take 4% of your money each year, adjust it for inflation. You should never run out of money. This is an old theory back from the 90s, still popular today.
Well, the rule's actually gone down now.
Okay.
It should be lower than that, but we'll play devil's advocate and stay with the 4% rule. It's actually 2.5% to 3%, folks, but the 4% rule will take that. So his $500,000 is going to yield him about $20,000 a year. And he goes, that should be enough to offset my Social Security. What happens if that market's down? What happens when the market goes down 10%? Mm-hmm. My income 4% goes down, A. B, I'm double dipping a loss. We put together a plan for him to move half of that money, $300,000 of it, into a fixed index annuity with an income plan. So now he has the $300,000, and the yield on that, he gets 6.78%, which gives him $20,340 a year, guaranteed to the day he dies and his wife dies.
Regardless of what happens.
I don't give a rat's backside. Okay. I do.
Yeah.
But I don't care what happens in Iran. Mm-hmm. I don't care what happens to the economy. I know I'll never not get my money. Mm-hmm. A little bit different way to sleep at night, right? That's what this is about. We've had all those phrases. People have heard the word annuity and said, oh my God, and you get that gagging motion in your throat, right? Folks, I need 5 minutes for you to sit there and let's talk about this logically. Let's talk about this is not your dad's Buick.
Yeah.
This is about setting up your lifestyle for your life. My dad told us, my grandfather said you never use penicillin. Penicillin was bad. Remember when it came out?
Yeah.
Now everybody gets penicillin. It's great. Everything changes. It evolves. It gets better sometimes. In this situation, it gets better. It gets stronger. It's still your money. It's still passed on to my children. Everything that you've heard the misinformation about, because a lot of that information, Mark, is about something known as a variable annuity. Variable annuities, they have high fees. They do. Variable annuities have between 3 and 7%. We don't work with them. Variable annuities have fluctuation in values. They do. We don't work with them. If that's what you want, Achilles will handle the managed funds for you. If I die with a variable annuity, I don't get all my money. It doesn't go to my beneficiaries. This money goes to my beneficiaries. It will go to Junior and Susie upon you and your wife's passing. Absolutely. And that's what this is about. You've worked really damn hard for this money. Isn't it time to make sure that money works for you now? Let's give you that pension you need. Let's give you the guarantee to sleep at night. Let's give you the protection you want, your wife and husband needs, and your children get the benefits down the road. Call us at 302-330-2166, and let's talk about those opportunities. I gave you one example. Maybe you say, George, I don't need a pension. I got one. Great. Let's take advantage of the other sides of annuities, how we can get the guarantee safety, sharing the upsides, longevity, legacy planning. Mm-hmm. We can give you a legacy plan that your children are going to be in such a good place that is right for them. And you can dictate from beyond the grave how they get the money. I still like to have control, Mark, with my kids. So
George has been gone for 10 years and still...
They're going to be like, son of a beeswax.
I thought I would have buried him. I'd be done. No, he still got me.
He still got me by the collar. But that's how we use these things to help you. Remember, this is your money, your choices, your decisions. We can't be narrow-minded in what we think or just listen to the noise.
Yep.
There's a lot of noise right now. Let me show you. Forget that noise. Let us sit down and show you in basic, simple English. My job is to take the gray out of your retirement and make it black and white. Call me at 302-330-2166, and let's start those processes.
Insurance and annuities offered through George Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.